Like the video and subscribe in the next 2.7 seconds, or every rare chest you open will be a purple pistol and medkit. No, but for real, please subscribe, because we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, welcome back to another landing spot video. You guys seem to like these. It even requested to do a trio landing spot video. So hey, here it is. Now before we get into this, I'm going to go ahead and pop my socials up on the screen here. So go ahead and give them a follow if you want to stay updated with me. And if you're looking for a trio or people to play with, go ahead and join my Discord, linked in the description. Once we get a few hundred members in there, I'd love to host some customs for money or even skins. Oh, and use code Milano if you buy any skins in the item shop. It supports me more than you know, and if we can get 300 people using code Milano, I give away another battle pass or even some skins. So go ahead and throw my code in. But enough of that, let's get right into these landing spots. Now the first landing spot I'm going to cover, coming in at number 5, we have the good old Lighthouse and Homely Hills. This can be a pretty decent split between 3 people, because there is a total of 15 chests. So it's about 5 per person and loads of floor loot. Given you're uncontested, the most effective split is 1 person land Lighthouse, 1 person at these 4 chests, and 1 at these 4 chests. If whoever lands Lighthouse is super efficient, they could also grab the chest on top of the shark and fish over there as well. Also, this place is fairly remote, so as long as you aren't contested, you shouldn't have to worry about getting third-partied. But the best feature about this spot is the mats. This is one of the few places on the map that has a good source of every material. There are plenty of trees, fences, rocks, and cars to farm along the way. Now you're going to have to rotate out of here on foot because there's really no mobility besides the giant whirlpool above Sweaty or the small one by the yacht. Overall, this spot is pretty decent, but the lack of mobility maybe put it at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have this combination of the Lazy Lake Island, Motorboat Mayhem, and Hydro 16 buildings. There's a total of 12 chests here, but it's almost never contested, and you should have plenty of time to loot while teams fight in Misty, or even third-party them if you can get some decent loot quickly. Here's a quick diagram of how I would go about splitting the loot for a trio. There's also plenty of fishing holes and ammo chests to fully prepare a trio for an endgame. For mats, you should be able to farm a decent amount of metal between the bleachers in the buildings and the cars on the dam, and for wood and brick, you could rotate north to Slumpy Ridge. Then, if you want to upgrade, there's an upgrade station conveniently on your way north. From there, you could possibly push teams in Lazy or hit the Whirlpool at Hydro 16 and push teams at Rig Islands. So yeah, if you're not too comfortable fighting off spawn, this could be the spot for you. Coming in at number 3, we have these few islands north of Sweaty. This place is pretty solid for it having 13 chests in a fairly small location, so your trio should be able to loot up fairly quickly. Also, there are a few slurp barrels you can save and share with your teammates to save some big pots for later in the game. Here's a diagram on how I would split the loot for a trio to make it fairly even. There's also a watchtower with some loot in it on the far southeast island, and if you shoot the kaboom tank, the tower will burn down and the loot will fall to the ground. So a little tip is to shoot the tank as soon as you land, and then by the time you go to rotate to loot it, the tower will be all burned down and your loot will be there waiting for you. There's also plenty of fishing and an ice freezer for you and your trio to stock up on. The only issue with this location is the lack of brick, but you can easily hit the Whirlpool and rotate to Pleasant or Sweaty to push some teams, head towards Salty to see if anyone grabbed the slurp truck, or just use the Whirlpool to rotate somewhere to farm brick. In my opinion, this place is pretty underrated for the new season, so grab your trio and go try it out. At number 2 on my list is these 3 islands south of Rickety Rig. These islands have a combined 14 chests, and because it is so far south and out of the way, it is often uncontested. There are 8 chests in one building, so you're going to have to get with your trio and try to plan out an even split on which chests everyone gets. These islands have loads of metal and a few pallets, so wood and metal shouldn't be an issue. For brick, you can hit the Whirlpool and grab these few rocks just to the east. The real perk of landing here is the slurp tanks. There are 2 larger slurp tanks here that drop 50 health each, so all the shield you loot you can save for later. Also, for some odd reason, there always seems to be a lot of sharks here. When I landed here to grab some gameplay, I had 3 sharks attacking me the whole time, so keep that in mind when you're looting. There are also tons of fishing holes and 2 ice chests to prepare you for endgame or even long rotations, because it is fairly out of the way. Like I said, for rotations, you can either hit the Whirlpool and grab some brick or take a boat from one of the 5 boat spawns here. So that's up to you and your trio. Overall, this place has some insane loot and guaranteed 100 shield for your whole trio, so it had to be high on my list. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I want to say a big thank you to you, so go ahead and comment the word Wonder, since that's the skin I'm rocking in this video, and so I can see who watches my videos the whole way through. And last but not least, coming in at number 1 is the old and trusty Orchard. Last season, the spot was decent, but the Orchard is crazy good this season. No longer are there heavy snipers at the radio station on the hill, and Steamy Sacks also doesn't have as much loot, so less people land there. And even though there are only 11 chests in the Orchard, there's an absurd amount of floor spawns, and there are also a few chests right outside the Orchard that you could easily claim. The 3 buildings makes it pretty self-explanatory on how to split up the loot, but here's a diagram on my recommendation for how I would split it up for a trio. Now I know I keep bringing up the issue with mats this season, but this is arguably the only place on the map where there is a good source of wood, brick, and metal all in the same POI, which makes this spot so strong. There are loads of trees, rocks, and cars to quickly get max mats. Not only that, but there's also a slurp truck right to the northeast that you should be able to grab before the team from Steamy, so you could easily save on some shield if you manage to grab it. Also, there are loads of apples and cabbages in the orchard that you can hold a max of 15 each. Cabbages heal you 10 health in a few seconds, so while they're not quite as strong as floppers, it's super easy to quick grab 15 and you don't have to go through the hassle of finding a fishing rod and waiting for fish. After looting the orchard, you can either try to hold kids flying from Steamy, push Frenzy Farm, or go see if anyone looted Zate Hill. The perfect balance of mats, decent amount of chests, and slurp truck made me have to put this spot at number 1. So give this spot a try and I'm sure you'll find some success. That is going to be all for this video. Go ahead and give these spots a try in Trio Arena or the upcoming Cash Cups and let me know how you do. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, but until then, have a great day and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.